What's up, everybody? Brad here with the Money Dad channel. In this video, we're talking about Snap, stock ticker SNAP for Snap, because we had a chart pattern on this stock chart that played out exactly how we wanted it to. It took a little bit longer than we wanted it to, but it went almost exactly where we wanted it to. Almost exactly. We had a price target of $80 on it, and on Friday we hit an intraday high of $79.18, and I said that was good for me, and I took my money off the table out of the trade. I sold out, made a profit. I think it was about 25%. I didn't look exactly at it. Probably should have done it before I made this video. A little bit more research before your videos, Brad. So I want to talk about the chart pattern that played out here. How we projected $80 and how we kind of predicted that this was going to happen. These stock chart patterns aren't 100%. None of them are. Didn't know with 100% certainty that this was going to happen, but it was a good probability based off of the stock chart pattern, and it worked out. And as soon as we got close to our price target, I took my money off the table. I said, yep, that's good for me. I'm out, on to the next trade. So I am now out of Snap, and I'm looking for the next trade, which actually I just recorded. So if you are interested in what I'm going to get into next, go look at my channel. There should be one on Roku, ROKU, which just had a fantastic day today, and that was kind of the catalyst that got us to the threshold that I was looking for on that stock. So go check that out, and my justification for why I'm getting into that stock there. Okay, but let's talk about Snap in this video. The stock chart pattern that played out. It got us to our price target. And what was the catalyst that got us to our price target? If you're watching this video, it's probably because you are a fan of Snap, or you've been following Snap. You probably already know why this stock shot up to really close to $80 on Friday. So let's get into it. I'm going to clear off a couple of these lines because they're unnecessary. These two in the middle right here, we just don't need them. That's just kind of it's kind of just messing up the screen here a little bit, make it nice and clean for you guys. This was the original pattern that I was looking at, or these were the original lines anyway on the screen when I made that first video for you guys showing this pattern. Okay, if we pretend like none of this existed back when I made that video, what I saw was basically a stock that was in a bull trend. It was coming up, right? And then we got to this peak back here in February, and then we started consolidating, just kind of chopping sideways, right? We couldn't get above that peak for a while. And I noticed that every time we came down, well, not every time, but this time right here, and then we almost came down again right here, right? And this one right here almost came all the way down to this line, right? There was this nice line in the sand right here at $48, basically, $47.80. Right, so we had this line in the sand right here. It gave us kind of this level ground right here, and then we had a series of lower highs right here. We had a high, and then we had a lower high, and then a lower high. Right, if this one would have been a little bit higher, that would have been nice, but didn't really need it. Eventually, right? So I noticed that okay, we've got these lower highs. Right, so when we swing up the next time, if we can break through this trend line right here of lower highs, if we break through that, that would be a good sign. That would be a breakout of this consolidation period right here. Right, we broke out of it right here, and that's when I said, okay, that's the trigger for me to get in. We can project to the upside what this breakout is going to be based off of the size of the height of this consolidation area right here, this kind of triangle looking area right here. Okay, so we measured the height of this consolidation, we projected to the upside from this breakout, and we said, okay, looks like about $80 is going to be our price target. And this was when we broke out right here at $60, right? So we had $20 of upside potential on a $60 stock at that time. So 20 out of 60 is 33%. There was a potential for 33% on this trade. I think I ended up making about 25%. So because I didn't get in at 60, I think I got in around 62 or 63. And then I didn't sell at 80. I sold at $77.75 or something like that, $78 maybe. And that's because there's a couple of reasons for that. But the big reason is kind of risk management. I like to wait a little bit after we get these breakouts above these trend lines for a little bit more confirmation. Makes me feel, more safe about my trade, because a lot of times you could break through this line right here and the next day you break underneath it and then it's a busted trade, right? So I like to wait a couple of days. I waited a couple of days, got in at 62 or 63, somewhere in there. And also on the other side, I don't typically wait until we hit the price target. I like to get out a little bit before. So with such a huge update today, look, Thursday was all the way down here at $62. And then they reported their earnings call. That was the catalyst, right? Their earnings call. Boom. Shot up overnight and during the day, all the way up to 78. Ended up closing at $78. So I said, you know what? $78. My price target's 80. I'm not going to hold this thing over the weekend. One, because of the weekend. Two, because of another reason I'm about to mention. So $78 is good enough for me. I'm out. So ended up making 25%. That's awesome. That's good enough for me. I'm not trying to make $1 million in one trade. I guess, you know what? Why did I even say that? I would love to make $1 million in one trade. Wouldn't we all? But I understand risk management. I'm not going to hold out over the weekend and hope that we hit $80 on Monday when there's a very real possibility we could give back a lot of these gains on Monday and next week. And the reason for that, that little hook that I left you guys there a minute ago, the second reason is, look at this gap. Massive, massive gap to the downside now. We gapped up massively on earnings, and anytime I see a gap on a stock chart, I assume that gap is going to get filled. And what I mean by that is a stock chart will gravitate back towards a gap. And this is a massive gap. It's like gravity pulling. It's going to pull this stock back into this gap. All right. It doesn't happen every time. I'm not telling you it's guaranteed going to happen, going to drop all the way back down to $64. But there's a good chance that we are going to see this stock retrace a lot of these gains that it had on Friday over the next few days, maybe even few weeks. So I'm not going to stick around and watch my position in Snap dwindle away as it kind of fills this gap. I'm locking in and moving on to the next trade, okay? Doesn't mean I don't like Snap. I like Snap, especially the augmented reality side of it. The camera technology, the AR technology. I think this company has real potential for, the technology side of it. The whole social media platform side of it, I could not care less about that side of the company. Snapchat, I do not care about the social media platform side of this company. The technology that goes into that platform, that is special. Okay, so there's a little bit of a difference there. And I think that is, the future of this company or the future of this stock anyway. If this stock is going to do well, it's going to be because of that camera technology that they're developing, not because of the social media platform that they have, in my opinion, anyway. Okay, so huge gap up on earnings. That was the major catalyst. I took my money. I said we were close enough to 80. I'm out because I think that we are going to fill this gap to the downside, okay? That's what I got for Snap, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you wanted a little bit more in-depth jump into Snap, please go check out the other videos I have on my channel about Snap. I do get a little bit into the financials, fundamentals, and the origination of this stock chart pattern in some of my other videos, if you're interested in that. If you're interested in any of the other stocks that I'm in, go check those out on my channel. If you're looking for how-to videos, how to find stock chart patterns, how to read stock charts, how to use TradingView, things like that, that's all on my channel. If you want to see my trades in real time, please consider joining the channel with a membership. It's a small monthly fee, and you can see my trades when I'm buying, when I'm selling in real time in YouTube community posts. And you would help me out a lot with that subscription. I would appreciate that so much. Thank you guys. If you're not a subscriber yet, hit that subscribe button. If you haven't liked the video yet and you're still sticking around, you're 10 minutes into this video and you haven't hit the like button yet, help me out. Give me a thumbs up. Appreciate it, guys. See y'all in the next one.